Hello, Charles. Welcome. The Minister of Housing. I greet you personally. Welcome, Charles. Welcome, Pearl, Headad. I greet you personally. And welcome, my partner, Clement, is also joining live with me here. Welcome, Adesoa. Welcome, Cynthia, Properties Citadel. I see you. Can you hear me? Live with Mr. Clement Sampson, Jodex Properties Limited.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Tessie. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Welcome, Mr. Sampson.
Thank you very much, sir. How are you doing today?
Very well, thank you.
Yes. I sent you a request before. So thank God we are finally here.
Yes, I said I've accepted the request.
Yes. So without wasting time, I just feel like it's imperative for we to make this live video to educate some of our investors to know the
Yeah.
important question that they can ask. Before then, my name is Samson Clement. So I'm the MD of Dress Luxury Homes.
You're welcome, Clement Sampson, and like I've been welcoming viewers and investors who are joining us live today. My name is Godswill Umesi, the head corporate promotions unit of So Real Estate Nigeria Limited, and we're also live with Samson. I just introduced himself.
Yes. So without wasting time, I think it's important we start treating the question today. And what we
Yes.
have here. So what we have here on the list is what documents does the property have? It's very important for you to ask that kind of question. So, Mr. Godwin, I think it's important for you to throw more light on a question like that. Why do you think it's necessary for a client to ask any developer or any realtor that kind of question?
Okay. So we have about 10 questions we are going to look at today. They are not exhaustive, but I would think that these are basic and very, very important to real estate investment. So the first question is, what documentation does a property have? You know, when you are buying real estate, it's not just like any other property. It's not like car. Even car, when you are buying a car, you need to also look at the documentations the car have. So the documentations a property has is very important, because you wouldn't want to buy a property or invest in a property that is encumbered. You don't want to buy a property that after buying it will be taken over by another person or by government. So first of all, you look at the title documents the property is carrying. And when you talk about title documents, we have the highest title, which is the C of O, certificate of occupancy. And it doesn't mean that that is the final document a land or property should have. We also have arrow of O, which is right of occupancy. We have in Abuja Yes, right of occupancy. Then we also have other title documents like FCDA, mass
Let,
approval.
mm, letter of
In
intent.
other states, yes, letter of intent. There are so many other documents that you can talk of in other states. Like in Lagos, after C of O, there is also another document they call governor's consent. When a document, when a COO is transferred to another person, they issue what they call governor's consent. So it's very important for you to ascertain the title document that property is carrying. And that title
Mm,
document that is carrying, you need to engage the services of a trained lawyer and also a trained surveyor. Most times, the title document will carry what we call TDP, title deed plan, at the back of the title
mm,
document. It will show you the details of that document, the details of that property, the land. It will also show you exactly where the land is located. So if you engage the services of a, a trained surveyor, he will take that title document, check the coordinates of that land, and
mm,
pinpoint exactly where the land is. So you are not just buying air, you are buying exactly the property that you are bargaining for. Then we
mm,
also talk about legal search. When you engage the services of a lawyer, the lawyer will conduct what we call legal search to ascertain the genuineness of that property and to know whether the property is encumbered or have any issue surrounding that property. So you wouldn't want to invest your money where you will not have sleepless nights. At the end of the day, you will be crying for your money.
mm. There's something I just feel like so many people are not aware of. If you are to conduct a search at the ages, RFO is very, very important because it's RFO that they use to conduct search. So many people
Yes,
don't know the importance of RFO in FCT. So I think it's important for anybody that is here that is into real estate. It's important for you to know the importance of RFO. That is the right of occupancy. So I just feel like you just keep that in as well. Because most people don't always see the value for RFO. They always like C of O, C of O. No, RFO also is very, very imperative for you to
very,
have
very
access to
key
it. Because
and very
that's,
important.
yes. Yeah, because that's the document you use to conduct a legal search at ages. So without
Yes,
wasting
very
time, we are
important.
moving to the next. Yeah. So without wasting time, we are moving to the next question. So the next most common question on the list is where is this property located? Most people always know that okay, I can just buy any property. As time goes on, development will come and meet it. But it doesn't work that way in Abuja. So you need to buy a property that is situated in a very good location, and also this property needs to be closer to social amenities like shopping mall, hospitals, schools, and what have you. So most people don't even put all these things into
Yes, of
consideration.
course.
They just feel like let me just buy it. Let me go to down one village and buy. As time goes on, development will get to that place. Yes, but you need to have foresight and vision while buying it. Okay, what are the social amenities that is closer to this thing that can make development to be faster to approach this property? So many people don't put this thing into consideration. So I think it's imperative for you to consider your location before buying any property in Abuja. So, Mr. Goswell, I think you still have one or two things that you can add to this as well.
Yes, yes. What you said is very important. Before I continue, I want to still welcome some of our viewers that are joining us. Kenny from Surrey Real Estate, you're welcome. Sonia Adadiorama One of Africa, you're welcome. Smart Sensu, you're welcome. And that salesman, you're welcome. And thanks for joining us on this a very educative live session. So in real estate, we always talk about location. Location, location, location. I mentioned it 3 times for emphasis. Location is very key in real estate, especially if you are going to buy for investment purposes. You wouldn't want a location that will not give you quick return on investment. And
Mm,
when you talk about location, there are a lot of things that surrounds location that we are going to look at now. You talked about shopping mall amenities. We talked about when in the I know the questions we have lined up will also talk about something that relates to security, which is
mm,
also part of location. So location is very key when
mm,
investing in real estate.
mm. Nice one, Mr. Goswell. Thank you very much.
You're
That was
welcome.
very tremendous. Yes. So the
You're
next one,
welcome.
what we are moving to is how long has the property been in the market? So most time people don't always ask that key value because sometimes too the longer the property in market, there's a tendency that something is wrong with that property. That is true of the matter. There's a tendency that maybe the construction is the construction is poor. There's a tendency that maybe the title document, there's something wrong with the title document. So the longer a property stays in the market, there's always tendency that that property, there's issue in that property. So I think that most buyers don't always feel the need to ask that question that, okay, how long has this property been in the market?
in the
And
market.
then from that, yeah, so that will prompt you to ask, okay, why is this property been in market for like the past 2 years, 3 years? Nobody have made sales. It's not as if the property is enormous, or it's not as if the property is too pricey. But why is it in market? Because the price. First, and imagine keeping a property of like 10 million naira or 15 million naira. Then nobody's buying, nobody's making any attempts to buy it. So by doing that, you know that something is wrong, and most buyers don't feel the need to ask this question. So what do you think, Mr. Godswill?
It is very important to ask that question because you want to know the history of the property. When you ask that history question, it will afford you to know how long the property has been in the market. If it has been in a very long time, it means that there's a problem. It might be that it has been encumbered, or the title is deficient, or what they are trying to sell is not exactly what it is. So it is very important to at least have an idea of the history of that property. If it's that good, then people should be investing in it.
That's a nice one. So the next question on the list is, what type of property are you buying? Then this more like this goes both ways, both to the salesperson and the investor. Like
An
before then,
investor.
yes. Now, as an investor, if you are buying a commercial property, you need to be very, very inquisitive, because buying a land alone in Abuja is not enough. You need to know the purpose of that land. Is it for residential? Is it for commercial? Is it for mixed use? So, but most people don't feel the need to ask this question. They just feel like, okay, let me just go. Is land. By the time you are going for what is it called, for with FCDA for approval with development control, you discover that, okay, something is wrong. That no, this thing was meant for residential, not commercial. So I feel like you need to know why you are buying that property, not just for you just want to buy it. No, you need to know the reason why you are buying that property, if it's for commercial or residential. So
Very,
the same
very
thing applicable
important.
to a salesperson as well.
Yes, it's very important. You need to know the land use of that property. You cannot be buying a residential property while you want to erect a filling station on it. You cannot be buying a residential property when you want to erect a shopping mall, or you want to erect a warehouse. So the land use approval of every property is very important in acquisition, even the person selling. So because if you buy the wrong property, it will take you a lot of money to change the land use approval, even if it's possible. Sometimes it may not be possible to change the land use approval, because it might be in the midst of commercial activities, or in the midst of residential lots. You now want to go and build something that is of big commercial importance, and even the residents will not allow you to erect it there. So it doesn't make any use that you acquire property that will not be to your own advantage. So you need to inquire the type of property you want to buy and the use that it has been approved. Very, very important.
Yes, that's a nice one. Then without wasting time, the next one on the list is, what is the average cost of property in that area? This question is very, very important, because if you're kind of person that you want to invest, you need to know the average cost of property in that location, because this is going to guide you to know the possible returns of investment of that property. Like for instance, if you are planning to buy property in like Lifecam, you need to ask around. Okay, like so let's say for example, you need to ask me, okay, like Ochacho's home that is close by there, Paradise Estate that is close by. Okay, how much are they selling 4-bedroom duplex there? Then from there, you can also give you a guide or a hint of, okay, this is how much they sell a property in this area. Then if I'm putting in this in next 2 to 3 years, this is how much I'm expected to have my returns of investment. So I feel like you still have more things to say as well. You have some
Very
things that you
correct.
need to add to this.
Very correct, Mr. Sampson. You have said it. You cannot just invest in a property without having an idea of the average cost of property in that area. At the end of the day, it might be that you are being ripped off.
Yeah.
So you need to do your own investigation, know the value, the general value around the area, so that when you invest, you'll be able to also have a good return on your investment. If you invest and it is way higher than the average cost of property in that area, that means you won't be able to offset or sell the property at any point you want to.
Mm. That's true. This thing happened to one of my friends. That was like 2 years ago when he went to buy a property at one location. He didn't really do a due diligence because he was feeling like, okay, the property is 10 million naira. Let me just go and buy it. It's cheap. But not knowing that around that area, property was going for 6 million naira. So it's very imperative for you to always
Imagine.
ask this question. Yes, so it's imperative for you to ask this question as both a salesperson that you're trying to sell to your clients and also as a buyer that want to invest. It's very imperative for you to ask this question. So the next
Very,
one on
very
the list,
correct.
please.
Very
Yes.
correct.
So, sir, you call the next question on the list, right? Okay, Mr. Augustus, I said you call the next question on the list.
Okay, we want to welcome Omotala for joining us, and welcome Alexander Naji for joining us. I hope this session will be very educative to you. So the next question we are looking at, we have already looked at 5 questions already that you need to ask yourself before you invest in real estate. The next question we are asking is, how can I finance or pay for the property? This question surrounds about the financing and the payment. What are the payment
Mm,
options? What are the
mm,
financing options available for a property? Now, when you see a property you want to buy, you need to ask yourself, how are you going to raise the money?
mm,
Property is
mm,
not just like rice, tomato, and pepper. Some of them might be very pricey. You need to ask yourself, how are you going to finance or raise money to buy this property?
mm,
Is it going to be through your personal savings, or you are going to approach some financing firms like mortgage institutes?
mm,
There are primary mortgage organizations like primary mortgage banks, or other mortgages that are available, commercial mortgages. Now you need to ask yourself that question. Even the property owner, is the person ready to also accept that financing option that is available to you? And that is where we also come to payment plan. You need
mm,
to find out what payment plans are available for you, because property is very pricey, and most property developers or owners would ordinarily want outright payment, but it may not be possible at every given time. So you need to find out the financing available for you and the financing or payment options the property developer or owner put on the table. I think you can also elaborate more on it, Mr.
mm.
Sampson.
Listen, I want to share my personal story. We had should I call a client that key into a payment plan with us. So after some point, she was paying tremendously, but after like the first, second or third month, she started having issue with paying because where she was expecting funds from, she wasn't having it. So where she was expecting funds, she was not getting it from there. So there was an issue. So for you to elude something like this from happening, I think as an investor or someone that wants to invest into real estate, it's very important for you to take your sources of income very well before you engage into something like this, into a payment plan, so that tomorrow the developer will not become a bad person. Because imagine if you have invested maybe like a 20%, 50%, 70%, then a developer, I see in the developer said that, okay, I want to refund your money since you're not able to meet up. You start seeing the developer as a bad person. So as an investor that want to elude something like this from happening to him or her, it's very important for you to check for your payment option if you can do it comfortably. So that's my take, Mr. Goswell.
Yes, very correct. You are very correct. You wouldn't want to get stuck in the middle of the transaction, and real estate is not
Exactly.
just for the weak. So let's go to the next question, which is the 7th question, and it goes like this: how secure is the location of the property? How secure is the location of the property? When we asked the other question number 2, we talked about location, and I mentioned that there are other questions that will surround around location.
Mm,
Location is very key and very important in real estate. So now you need to ask this question, or you need to investigate how secure
mm,
that location where you want to invest is, because you wouldn't want to live in a neighborhood that is full of violence. You wouldn't want to live in a neighborhood that is full of one problem or the other. So you need to
right.
find out, even if there is a security issue, what is the nearest police station around there? What
Mm,
is the security measure that has been put in place by the residents, by the developers of the estate? Do they have perimeter fencing? Do they have CCTV camera? Do they have any armed security around? Do they have vigilante? You need to find out, because home is a place where you come back and relax and sleep peacefully. You wouldn't want to be embroiled with plenty security issues. I think you can
True.
also add one or two.
True. You are right. I feel like one of the issues security are having now, or the security structure of Nigeria currently, is compromise. Some estates, to be precise, that the security people are trying to be compromising with. I don't want to use the word kidnappers, but they're compromising now. I think any investor needs to ask for the security structure of an estate. Like, what is the security structure of that estate? Is it called to access? Is it pin to access? Is it code to access? I think every developer too, on their own end, need to advance their own security too before you can access their estate. There should be more a technological introduction, like a code to access, or you can do a code to access.
Yes.
If you don't have a code, you can't access there. No matter what you are doing, if
Yes.
you don't have a code. By doing that, we are going to battle insecurity immensely in an estate. So I think for an investor that wants to invest into real estate, it's very important for you to ask this question: what is the security structure of that estate? Thank God for So Real Estate. You guys are working tremendously in terms of security, because
Yes.
I can recall the last site visit we did at Katampe Extension, the diplomatic zone. Remember that we had to call someone before we can access the estate. So that's a
Yes,
strong
of
one.
course.
That's a great one. So I want to encourage other developers too to try to advance their security, because the days are evil. So we on our own end, we need to be very, very meticulous too. So that's my own take on that.
Thank you very much. So we move on to the next question, which is the eighth question. And this question is also surrounding location. It's also somehow related to location. So the eighth question is, you need to find out, or you need to ask before investing in any property, is how close is the property to the nearest social amenities, such as market, shopping mall, school, hospital, police station, and so on and so forth. So you wouldn't want to live in a location or invest in a location where you will spend so much money to be able to get basic amenities you need in life.
True.
I know that most of our estates now, like So Real Estate, we have options and we have provisions for shopping mall in the estate. We even have provision for school.
Yes.
But it still goes beyond that. We make every estate of ours to be well integrated by providing such facilities. You still need to find out other facilities that are around that location, like markets, school. Of course, your children will need to attend to school, and also hospital in case of emergency. You might be in your house and something happens. How long will it take you to get to the nearest hospital to get treatment? So all these things are what you need to ask before you invest in any location.
That's yeah, I've even said it all, Mr. Godsfield. That's the truth of the matter, because I wouldn't want anybody to stay in an estate whereby every important social amenities is far from you. From the hospital, mall, markets, name them, are far from you. So if you are trying to survey for a property that you have intention to buy, make sure you also look out for the social amenities that is closer to this estate. It's very, very imperative for you to do that.
Very,
So
very
that's my own
important.
take. Yes, it's important.
Very important. Very, very important. Thank you. And you see that is also bordering around location. That's why we say location, location, location is key in
Is the
real
key.
estate investments. So, without wasting much time, our ninth question, which is before the last one, is what is the infrastructure in the area of property? Infrastructure. When we talk about infrastructure, people think it's only light and water. Infrastructure borders on a lot of things. What are those infrastructure that have been put in place to make life comfortable and easy for you? There has to be motorable road, there has to be water reticulation, there has to be electricity, or even alternative, there has to be good drainage system, because if you live in an area where you don't have good drainage system, I bet you the foul odor that will be coming out from the waste
Yes.
will drive you away from your home. Apart from even the drainage system, you need to find out what is the waste disposal system that has been put in place in that area. Because when you live at home, you generate waste. There are a lot of things that come out of your home, from the kitchen, when you sweep your house, the environment. So most times, even in real estate, we've been trying to do waste disposal systems that convert waste to wealth, like recycling.
Yes.
And even the sewage system. Currently, we are doing what we call recycling the waste, so that as we are releasing the waste, it's not just going and blocking elsewhere or causing foul play or foul smell, but it's being recycled. At the end of the day, you have less waste to deal with. So infrastructure in any particular area is very, very important.
True. You are right. Like, because some time ago, there are some places in town that we have a shortage of water around area 1, area 2, and I think we say 2, we have a shortage of water. So something like this is infrastructure. You need to look into this thing deeply, not just like, okay, the house is fine, the prototype of this building is awesome, but then what is the infrastructure set in that place? Because it's going to be terrible for you to live in an estate that there's no water, because water is life. There are some estates like that. There's no water. They have not put anything in place to arrest that situation. So I think it's
Yes.
very, very important, if you are making any plan to buy a property in Abuja, for you to ask for the infrastructure in that location. So that's my own take, sir.
You're welcome. Very, very, very important.
Yes.
And that takes us to the next one, which is the 10th question, which is going to be the last for now, unless we give a bonus.
Yes.
What is the duration before the project is what is the project's lifespan? What is the duration of completion of a project before you invest in? I think you should be able to talk first before I now say something about
Okay.
it.
Okay. This question is very important for any business or any business owner or any investor to ask, with reasons. Now, imagine investing in off-plan projects. Off-plan is project that they have not done anything yet. They are just telling you the vision of the place. So most people don't feel the need to
Yes.
ask. Most people don't feel the need to ask for the time frame that this project is going to be completed. So it's very important for you to ask. If
Yes.
possible, there should be an agreement between you and this company. Okay, if by this period of time you are telling me that you are going to finish this project, if you are not able to finish it, if you don't have the financial competence to complete this project, what should I do? What do I stand to get? So, because on your own, and you need to make sure that you guide your own finance as well, not just sending it or dumping it at somewhere that they will not make use of it. The next 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, nothing will happen. The next thing, they will start telling stories, because the more you keep on waiting, the more the cost of materials, the cost of building a building will also increase as well. So before you know it, now your money might not really have value as at when they have the intention to do it. So I feel like it's very important as investor for you to ask the duration before that project will be completed. So that's my own take on that, sir.
Yes, it's very, very good. Clinton, all the way from Canada, you're welcome and thanks for joining us. So you need to ask the project lifespan, because it will help you to plan, just like Mr. Sampson said, it will help you to plan your finances. It will help you to know when to, if you are building the houses, how long you need to gather your money, when you need to start building. If the project takes so much time, remember there is inflation. It will even affect the cost of building, the cost of materials. Even if you are keeping the property for investment, you need to know the lifespan so that you'll be able to project and know what is your possible return on investment in the future. So these questions you need to ask them. I talked about infrastructure that is being put in place, and I talked about sewage system. I remember most of our estates now in real estate, we've adopted biodigester. Biodigester is a system that collects the waste and transforms it to water and gas. And you find out in the long run, you don't need to start emptying the soak away or anything. It just treats it. Even if you want to recycle the water, it's very possible, but the water can be used for different things, even watering the grasses and green areas. But you have cut off that issue of always trying to evacuate the sock away.
Great. Yes. So
Yes,
thank you very, very much, Mr. Gosfield. I do really appreciate for this section.
you're welcome. And thank you for joining our viewers. Thank you for our contacts, all the people that joined this live session. I hope you benefited from this session. I don't know if anybody has any question to ask before we end this session. And we will also be available to DMs. You can DM us some of the questions you want us to treat in our next live question. Any question that you feel that has not been treated or is of importance to you, you can send to us so that we'll be able to treat them in our next live session. Mr. Sampson.
Yes. All right, Mr. Gosfield, thank you very much. This should be a side note. In case if you want any of us to help you to own a property in so real estate, please don't forget to also DM us. It's very important as well. Or you have a way you can refer us to someone that can buy any property as well. Don't always forget to do that. So thank you very much to everyone that participated on this our live section.
Thank you. Bye-bye.